Hello everyone, I'm Morali and welcome to the channel. As you can see by the title of this video, today I want to talk about dual classing in Guild Wars 2, and not about how the developers should implement it, but how it already is implemented in the game. Well, sort of. Before I do that though, I wanted to go over exactly how I have structured this video and the following videos. I originally had planned to make one long video in which I would go over each elite specialization, explaining how this idea could fit. Now that we have 27 elite specializations, that didn't seem feasible anymore. I didn't want to make an hour-and-a-half long video, as that would just drag on and make it feel disorganized. So instead, I've decided to do each class separately and talk about their distinct elite specializations for this concept per video. In this video, however, I just wanted to lay out what I mean by dual classing, how this applies to Guild Wars 2, and what key points I'm using to apply this sort of theory. If you enjoy videos like these and would like to see more, why not subscribe to the channel? Also, I stream over on Twitch. If you would like to have a more personal interaction with me, you can follow me over there. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get right into it. What exactly do I mean by dual classing? A lot of different games, and more specifically MMORPGs, have a system in which you can take a second class or profession, and sometimes even a third. One of those games is Guild Wars 1. So first, I want to talk about dual classing in Guild Wars 1 to better paint a picture for how it works in Guild Wars 2. In Guild Wars 1, you decide your character profession during your character customization like in most other games. After entering the game world and doing some quests to get some more skills and experience for your character, you get tasked with going out and finding a trainer for a desired second profession. After doing that quest, you will then be able to choose that profession as your secondary. You cannot change your secondary profession until later, but it is possible to mix any two classes together. Now, Guild Wars 1 doesn't have a trait system like Guild Wars 2. Instead, we have the predecessor to the trait system, and that is the attribute system. In this system, every profession gets a set of attribute lines, with one of them being the inherent line that you only have access to if that profession is your first one. So for example, a warrior will have access to the strength attribute line, but a ranger that uses warrior as a secondary profession will not have access to this line. This caveat is not so bad, because besides not being able to use that attribute line, you get access to most skills and other attribute lines of that profession. This enables you to make crazy build combinations, and people have come up with some interesting ways to play the game over the years. It's a pretty good system, and with hundreds of skills available, there's always some new builds to be discovered. Now, how does this all fit into Guild Wars 2? Well, in Guild Wars 2, we do not have access to a secondary profession. Instead, the developers have created the trait system with different specialization lines, and with each new expansion, every class has received access to a new elite specialization. I have thoroughly enjoyed this system, and have even made my own elite specialization speculations. Over the years though, I've seen a lot of posts online of people that would like to see the developers get rid of this system and go back to doing dual classing. Now what if I told you that the elite specializations are actually ArenaNet's dual classing system in Guild Wars 2? For some of you, that might be pretty apparent, but I know there are some of you that might not quite understand this concept, because it has never been stated to be any type of dual classing system, and in some cases, when looking at the elite specializations and comparing it to a dual class system, it might not quite fit perfectly, and at times not at all. So there is certainly some evidence to support this idea, and evidence to contradict it. Like I said before, the developers have never really stated this to be a certain thing, but the best way to actually understand where I'm coming from is to go through each elite specialization and describe how it could see it function as a dual class. The criteria for this will be as follows: the weapon that the elite specialization uses, the mechanic of the elite specialization, the healing, utility, and elite skills of the elite specialization, the general theme of the elite specialization, and to a lesser degree, the trade lines and traits within it for the elite specialization. For obvious reasons, the armor, which in a lot of games is usually tied to what a class can do, does not count here, as we cannot change what armor weight each class wears, and the type of armor doesn't play a role in the elite specialization. Now, the purpose of this set of videos isn't to bring revelating news to the Guild Wars 2 community, but rather start a discussion, as most of my videos usually do, and also maybe give some people the opportunity to look at some of the elite specializations and see them in another light. Different people enjoy different elite specializations, but with this video I hope that I can give some people a new perspective on a few of them, and maybe they will then decide to give them another try. For myself, I created these videos because in the future I have planned to make another project which could incorporate this, and could help me and perhaps others come up with some interesting ideas if we base them on this concept of dual classing. There will not be a set release cadence for the next 9 videos in this series, so like I said before, if you're interested in following where this goes, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, let me know what your ideas of what each elite spec could potentially be. I think some of you might be surprised with what I have come up with. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!